Oh, hi. It's Ronnie here. Thanks for coming to Coffee with Ronnie. Sure. It's a very special Coffee with Ronnie today. Not sure if anyone knows why, but I'll tell you. I'll get there.
So today is the roughly 1 year anniversary of Coffee with Ronnie. Can you believe it? I know. Whee! Coffee with Ronnie has been going on for roughly a year. I don't know the exact date, but around then. And so for most Thursdays at 3 p.m. Eastern, I have shown up here to talk. And a lot of you have joined me, which makes me super happy that you have. This is the original index card that I wrote down for my first Coffee with Ronnie. And my premise was, this was my entire concept, was that I wanted to have a spot. See, I love going out for coffee. And I've always have found that in the short amount of time relative to other events in your life, that in a short amount of time you can have coffee with someone and you can have a very meaningful conversation. It might be heartfelt, it might be fun, but going out for coffee is a really cool thing. And since we are all scattered about the earth, my idea with Coffee with Ronnie is we're just going to go to the world's largest coffee shop and sit down and have a conversation about being artists, about trying to make a living as an artist, all of the slings and arrows that we feel, the joys, all of that, all wrapped up in the time it takes to drink a cup of coffee. So here we are a year later, and for most of these Thursdays, unless I was out of town or a holiday, we're here. So that is super cool. Here's what we're going to talk about today. I hope you all still feel that way, that we're having coffee with each other, even though I'm the only one actually talking. You're talking in your own way, and I'm glad we're having a conversation. That is what I wanted this to be. That's what I wanted to provide. So let's just pretend we're at a giant table together talking about art. And so I am very excited about this 1 year anniversary. So here are some things that I have learned in the last year, and things that you can learn about doing anything in your life and anything that requires a big project and a big stepping out of your comfort zone. These are the 5 things that I learned based on that. Here's the one thing I know for sure, and I'm sure you guys resonate with this. It's very good to have a date on the calendar. It's like when the years you decide to get like season tickets to a theater or a concert series or something. It's like, I know what I'm doing on this evening for the next 6 months. It's really cool to have a date on the calendar. And also, as freelance illustrators and artists and freelance doing different things, we work really well with deadlines. So when I know that I'm going to be showing up here at 3 o'clock on Thursday, I think there's only been one time where I was like, I don't think I can do this. I felt really bad, but I was like, I don't think I can do this. But every other time I was like, I will have something to talk about. I will. And so having a deadline, having a place to show up at where people are somewhat expecting you is a really good motivator. So always having dates on the calendar, even if they are dates for yourself. In fact, that's even more important, to make sure that you have dates for yourself, that you show up on the calendar and get the stuff done that you want to get done. So that's number 1. Good to have a date on the calendar. So I always know exactly what I'm doing at 3 o'clock Eastern time on Thursdays. I'm going to be here. I'm going to be prepared as much as I can. And I want to be here with you guys because I love it. I actually pretend like we're having coffee together. Here's the other thing I learned. We all learn this somehow, but when you do something over and over and over, you get better at it. You get better at it. As some of you may harken back, my first few were probably just not that good. I felt like, I was sort of a sweat ball. I didn't know exactly how to start things, end things. And so, but I hope that I have gotten better at it. I feel better about it. And so anytime you do something repeatedly, you get better. It's the same with everything we do. We talked about drawing last week. You draw, you get better at drawing. You paint, you get better at painting. It's just that simple. And we can't use our brains. This is where our brains don't work particularly well. We can't ask our brains to tell us how we're going to feel about something or how we're going to improve on something. It is only through the doing, the actual doing of the thing, that you know that you can get better at it. So like, say I wanted to start learning how to be a really good hula hooper, which is on my list. If I want to get better at doing a hula-ing, I would have to do that a lot. I can't just picture myself doing that and have it done. So by showing up every week, I hopefully have gotten better at what I'm doing, and we all get better. You can't intellectualize your way through that. You just have to do the thing. And when you do the thing gets better. The third thing I learned, going live is really scary. If you've ever gone live on Facebook or any other, you're going to do IGTV or you go live on YouTube, you hit the live button and like there's this, at least on Facebook and other ones I've done, there's this sort of countdown. They give you this 3, 2, 1, just like on TV. They count you down instead of 3, 2, 1, and then you're live. And you're on. And the first time I did it, I was like, I had no idea what to expect. I had no idea what that was going to feel like, but it was scary. And every once in a while, I mean, it's not for the faint of heart, I'll tell you that. But just like I said, it gets easier as you do it. But there are a lot of things in life that are scary. Sending emails are scary. Picking up the phone is scary. Starting a new look for your artwork is scary. There's a lot of scary things that's the choice we are making when we decide to be an artist, whether we are monetizing it or not. Fear is part of the deal. Fear is between us and the thing that we want to get. And only through going through that it gets less scary by doing it. You just get more used to it, or you decide you don't care that much. And so you just are going to be as good as you're going to be. And so, but going live is scary, but there are a lot of things in life that are scary. Just showing up for anything is scary. That's just part of it. So either don't move forward or be a little bit scared sometimes. Deborah says, it's force of habit, but when I find a video maker, I watch their first and last video to see how they have grown. It is amazing. I respect people that can make videos. I like being behind the camera. Yeah. Oh, I'm a little bit like, I haven't really watched an old one because I'm like, I just watch my hair getting shorter and longer. And there's some of them I look at and I'm like, oh my gosh, my hair looked ridiculous. Anyway, going live is scary. But so are a lot of things that you have all done, and you've all proved that you can do scary things. Some of you had children. That to me is scary enough. And so we've all done scary things, which means you can do the next scary thing. Truly, you can. And all we really have is our own weirdo, quirky selves to show up with. And that's just one of those things, like, unless you're going to go into some huge personal change and makeover and everything to make yourself something that you're not, everybody's fine with who you are. If you're nice, everybody's fine. And even not nice people apparently can be quite popular. Here's the fourth thing I learned by showing up weekly for Coffee with Ronnie. And that is that most people are really nice when you kind of stumble. They are kind. They want you to succeed. They really do. If I'm watching something and all of a sudden things go sideways or say the internet goes out in the middle of your live cast, I want to support that person. I understand that we're not perfect people. And so people I have found are generally nice. And if they're not all the way nice. They're nice enough not to tell me. To me, that's nice. That's really nice. So most people are going to support you in whatever thing you're going to go into. They are going to support you. They, deep in their heart of hearts, they want to support you. They might not understand it. They might not be, jumping up and down with enthusiasm, but in their heart of hearts, they want you to be happy and they want to support you. So if you kind of stumble and do something goofy, hopefully the people around you are there to pick you up and they are kind to you. They are kind to you. And also just be nice enough not to point out the flaws. So that has been my experience. That's fine. And if people don't, okay, I'm not, as a friend of mine always says about her, I'm an acquired taste. And sometimes that is who you are. Okay, here is the fifth thing that I've learned. Fifth and final thing that I've learned. I'm sure I've learned many other things, but for the bullet point part of this chat, the fifth thing is you don't quit, you pivot. So in the small scale, if the internet goes out or things, you lose your place in your notes, not that that's ever happened to me, just like you have proved that you can do scary things, you've also proved that you don't quit. And you get to bring all your successes along with you. All the good stuff that came with you, you get to keep that. And when things don't go exactly the way you want, you pivot. You take everything that you know, you take everything that you are as a fine human being, and you pivot to the thing that might work better for you. And that is, again, if we're going to use the case of doing live Facebook video and things don't go well, you just go with it. You just go with it. You pivot to the next thing. You should know your stuff well enough that you can tap dance your way through it, or you just admit that you're lost or the internet's wonky or whatever, but you can pivot to the next thing. You have proved it in your past. You can prove it in your future. When we think about how far we have all come, and Deborah, I think that is an interesting idea to think about how people have, when you look at their first and their last, it's the same with a writer, where you look at their early work and you look at their later work and you're like, oh, wow, that really is a shift. Or it's just a lovely transition. And we're all somewhere on that path. And that is a beautiful thing. But we get to take all the good stuff with us. All the strength that you had gets stronger. I was going to say strengthier, but it really, you get to keep it. You get to keep it. Do not think that those former successes are meaningless to you. It has built the person that you are now. Kind of like Dorothy. She kind of learned that lesson walking through Oz and accumulating all her quirky, flawed friends, and we realize we all have it in us anyway. I am so glad that we are here. I'm so glad that you are here. I have one that I'm scared to share, but kind of want to. Is it okay to post the one with my lipstick on wrong? How's lipstick on wrong? Is it like upside down? I don't know. I would say, sure. There's sort of, it's sort of a passage of time. It just is. It's going to, like the way that the world works right now. If you like the content and you feel like it would be something that would be funky to try to recreate, then put it out. I had a coaching call this morning and I had like this weird divot in my head right here. And I was like, what is that weird divot? Well, I just speckled over it. And I don't have the divot anymore. So let it go, Sue. Just let it go. We're going with the Frozen. Let it go is our theme. Maybe that's our 2020 theme this year, is let it go. Oh, Amaryllis tried a scary new thing today. Feel free to share. Or you know how to DM me. BJ says, when I did my first 2 Skillshare classes, I hated myself on camera and almost stopped. Still hate myself on camera, but made peace with it. I don't think we ever get used to like us. We just don't get used to us. It just is. But that's the thing. If we want to get across that thing, we just have to get across it. I mean, It's like climbing a fence. You might not look really super graceful and your big butt's in the air, but you got on the other side of the fence. Not yours, PJ, just a big butt. But like, that's how we get over. It's like, it might not be graceful. You might fall on the end, but you're still on the other side of the fence. Sorry, this terrible analogy. I did something scary this AM too. Well, good for you, Cherish. Kelly, such a good reminder, because when I'm out of practice with something, I feel like I'm starting over, but I'm really not. Just rusty. Yes, yes, yes. You get your skills back. You get your skills back. You don't have to go all the way back. It's not like a Candyland game where you have to go all the way back to the beginning. You just, or is that Chutes and Ladders? Doesn't matter. You get to start wherever you were. That's the beautiful thing. I hope that my premise of us getting together and chatting in our imaginary coffee shop has been a success for you. I love it. I really, truly, I got to have coffee with some people in Atlanta, and it was a marvelous experience. And I'm hoping that whatever city I'm in, if you happen to be in the same one, we're going to go have coffee for real. So cheers, my darlings. And if there's one thing I hope, I want, is that at the end of our Coffee with Ronnie, we say what we always want to say when we end a coffee date with a friend, is we say, let's do this again. This was really fun. Let's do this again soon. That is my entire hope and desire for what we do here, is that we want to do it again and show up again and be with each other. So I thank you so much. I just am so happy that you're here, that you've supported me, and it's just the best, the best. So I'm just going to look at comments, and then if you guys have any questions afterwards, or again, if there's a burning subject you want me to cover that we'll either bring someone in to talk about, or if it's something I know about, let's do that. But always feel free. The messenger is open all the time if you have questions about something you want us to talk about on here. I'm not going to play it safe anymore. And why? Why? Don't know. No. We're just gonna, I mean, who cares? We're just gonna show up as our wonderful, adorable, quirky, weirdo selves. That's what I'm doing. Melbourne needs you. Well, thank you, Karen. Just send the jet. Send the jet. I'll come. Laura, thank you. Love Coffee with Ronnie. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Yes, Norma, let's do this again. Annie, thank you. That's very kind. So I'm going to say goodbye. I'm going to say cheers, darlings. Actual coffee. And I wish you all the best, and I can't wait to see you all next Thursday. So let's do this again, okay? Cool. Bye.